Thanks a lot, Tim. Tasudi in the last event is at $7.10. Dancer's Joy's at $6.90. $2.70 for Lady Madonna. $3.60 Scenario. $3.40 Fan for Leader. Another very open race, typical of Melbourne Cup Day. $3.90 for Quiet Queen, the Sydney filly. $9.65 Sugar Grey. 22-1 Vital Curves. Katabi $4.70. And in the betting we have Victory River, Irish Grace, and Mannerism was a horse I thought had a big chance at very, very good odds wearing blinkers first time. Peter Donegan. The totes for the 8th event, you can see the start of the race. The 1400 metre start is the furthest point on Flemington Racetrack, and you've really got to be close into the fence. If you're trapped out wide on that long sweeping turn, it makes it very difficult. But there is a long run home if you are in on the fence and then come out, and you're given every possible chance. Cup Day, the field set to go. Lights on. One jump forward, made a dive at the gates. Lights still flashing. Hang on the call from a couple of the jockeys. Something playing up out in the middle. They're set, they're racing now. Scenario missed the start, one of the favourites, and she's immediately back last. Bridget's Daughter won the start, leads from Fan for Leader, Quiet Queen and Garters. Dancer's Joy's going up to attack for the lead in the early part of the event, and they were followed over on the inside by Victory River. Sugar Grey's in that bunch as well, and so too was Mannerism over on the inside. The stablemate Tasudi just behind her. Oh, Katabi got into a lot of trouble there, badly checked, so was Garters. Victory River's out the back now towards the tail, also was Scenario. So a lot of interference in the first 400 metres, and Bridget's Daughter led. One of the outsiders by a length to Fan for Leader. Garters going up wide. A length and a quarter back on the inside was Quiet Queen. Dancer's Joy 5th. Then came Sugar Grey, a length and a half further back then to Shandon Lass as they approached the turn. Mannerism was still there. They were followed by Katabi, and well back in the field as they made the home turn was Quiet Queen. Scenario's gone back to second last with Victory River. Rounding the turn, 500 metres to go. Bridget's Daughter a length and a half in front of Irish Grace. It went up wide to be second. Fan for Leader third. Quiet Queen up on the inside. Then Sugar Grey down the outside. Dancer's Joy. Mannerism and Tasudi wide out. 400 metres to go. Bridget's Daughter still in front. Quiet Queen coming at it from Fan for Leader. Victory River getting up on the inside from a long way back in the field too, and running on strongly was Sugar Grey. 200 metres left to go though. Getting right up on the inside. Victory River's claimed the lead from Quiet Queen. Victory River just in front. Quiet Queen. Victory River. Quiet Queen. I think Quiet Queen has just won this from Victory River. Vital Curves flashed up in the centre for third. Then Bridget's Daughter and Mannerism close up in a thrilling go. Irish Grace next in from Sugar Grey and Fan for Leader Garters. Well back to Sudi and Scenario. Then came well back Shandon Lass with Proud Prancer, Dancer's Joy. Lady Madonna never in it, and she was towards the tail, and Katabi after that bad Pratt was a mile back in the race, never got into it.
I thought she was beaten just going past here, Dan Quiet Queen, but she looked nice in the yard. But as Cracker said, when she got the barrier, she'd broken out and sweating a bit, and that sort of turned me off for a little bit. But I thought the ride on the second horse was a great ride. Wayne Treloar, Victory River, he looked like pulling it out of the fire, didn't he? Number 6 has got it, Dan. Quiet Queen, Larry Olsen.
Number 6, the winner, Larry, won the Cup 3 years ago on Kensine. He gets up in the last event, just won. Good run, the second horse. Here's the start. There was a lot of interference at the start. Plenty of horses were playing up. And Scenario missed it 2 lengths. Victory River also missed the start. She was back second last, and Vital Curves from the wide barrier also had to go back. But it wasn't long after this. Have a look for the horse in the yellow and red colours in about 5th place and going to 4th now. Katabi, she gets into a lot of trouble. She's obscured, but have a look at the third bunch of horses, and she's in that pack with Garters. Look at now, one horse hit the rail.
Yep.
Katabi got checked, the field disassembled, and that really put those 2 fillies out of business.
That was the finish of them, Dan. But this filly, Quiet Queen, she had good form for a race like this too, but the sweating up a little bit just made it a bit of a risk to back her. But there she is now with Larry Olsen riding her along, and she's shifting out onto the track with a stick in the left hand. She's the second horse in. See her starting to shift out now, Dan. She's coming out to the middle of the track, and they've finished out pretty wide, and the horse that went along the rail was Victory River. Couldn't quite snatch the major end of the prize, with Wayne Treloar riding very hard down on the inside. But both fillies fought very hard to the line there, and I did think for a moment here, 50 metres out, that Victory River was going to get Quiet Queen.
Sydney victory for Quiet Queen, and Gay Waterhouse is talking to the winning trainer of Quiet Queen.
Yes, well, Rod Craig from Warwick Farm, you must have thought you had a good thing when you came down south.
Well, worked out beautiful, Gay. I mean, you take the chance on these things. They don't often come off, I don't suppose, but today's a great feeling for me today. So.
Well, it's a great day to win on Cup Day.
Yeah, great. Really.
Is this your first runner here, Rod?
No, I had a filly I won the Champagne Stakes a few years ago down here, and she didn't run up to expectations in the Oaks and the 1,000 Guineas, but this is made up for it today.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Gay Waterhouse there with Rod Craig, the winning trainer of Quiet Queen, who took out the final event on Melbourne Cup Day. Her form has been first class, so we might see her back up in another race, perhaps during the carnival. That's the scene from Flemington. The racing's all over, but we'll have a wrap-up. We'll go to a break first and come back with the highlights on Melbourne Cup Day. Quiet Queen, $2.65 and $1.10. Victory River, $2. Vital Curves, $4.15. Quinella, $18.80. Trifecta yet to hand.
Hello again.
Nearly 93,000 people packed in a Flemington racecourse today. The trifecta in the last event for Victorian viewers paid $1,535 even. It was a long day. We go back to the first of which was the Email Cup Hurdle, and the favourites were Historically and Arangi.
Might have gone too hard early. Historically at the last, at a length and a half. Arangi walked through it. Here's Raft Boy and Shockatoolan. Historically in front. Arangi can't go on. Raft Boy lunging at them. Raft Boy over the top of Historically. Historically fighting on for Poltridge. Raft Boy trying to get him historically in front of Raft Boy, and Historically won. Historically beat Raft Boy a short half.
Just got there Historically, 180 and 90, 105 for second, 325 for third. In the second event, they put plenty of money on Stylish Region and Cubism, but the horse over the top was Camburn Tim.
The Grey took the front. My Wandering Star from Stylish Region. Here's Camburn Tim and Mr. Region down the outside. My Wandering Star in front. Camburn Tim trying to pick it back, and Stylish Region kicking back the rail. My Wandering Star in front. Camburn Tim grabs it and got up. Camburn Tim in the last stride beat My Wandering Star.
Camburn Tim did in fact get up, and the totes in Victoria, $5.65 and $1.50. These totes might vary around the country. 135 for second, 75 for third. The Schweppes 1200 was race number 3. Baluk led but weakened pretty quickly, and watch for the horse flashing home down the outside, Brosberg.
Brosberg down the outside is swapping them, and Brosberg's going to get up and win the Schweppes 1200. Brosberg drew clear near the post to win a half a length to Dwown in and Port Phillip. Close up fourth.
Brosberg in Victoria, 440 and 120. Dwown had 160, 185 for Port Phillip. Race 4 was the Great Western, and the favourite was Procol Harum, just nutted.
Procol Harum, Power of Destiny over the top. Not Hayes again, I think it will be. Power of Destiny over the top. Procol Harum fighting back. Power of Destiny coming at him. He's laying out Procol Harum. Power of Destiny lunging and got him. Power of Destiny got up and won and beat.
Just got up, but he would have been unlucky to have got beaten. Power of Destiny, $6.95, 185, 80 for second, $1.25 for third. The big one today, the Foster's Melbourne Cup, and it was Kingston Rule and Darren Beedman's day.
And so too was the Phantom. Here's Kingston Rule. Kingston Rule hit the front of the Melbourne Cup, 200 metres to go. The Phantom and Mr. Brook are trying hard. Kingston Rule in front. The Phantom trying to get up on the inside, but it's Bart's 8th Cup, and Kingston Rule wins the Melbourne Cup. Second, the Phantom. Third, Mr. Brook.
Great win. He's a top horse, best bred racehorse in Australia at the moment. 575, 215, 145, 305. Those tote dividends were Victorian dividends. To race number 6, the Flemington's 150th anniversary welter, John Sadler brought up a double.
Loomed up to take the lead with 100 metres to go, and it's a double for trainer John Sadler as Dedicated runs on from a set of man. But Zephyr Elko Bay opens right up and wins it by 4. Second, Dedicated. Third, a set of man.
Zeffirelco Bay 390, 125, 90 for Dedicated, $2 even for Ascent of Man. In the second leg of the Daily Double in Melbourne, Natural Wonder was going for a 7th win from her last 8 starts, and she did it in style.
On the outside, our Grey Invader. Natural Wonder in front of Kate Smith and Ice Cream Sunday. Natural Wonder in front, trying hard, Ice Cream Sunday, but Natural Wonder's going to win again. Natural Wonder scores second, Ice Cream Sunday. I think the Grey got through.
Natural Wonder 255 and 90, 115 for Ice Cream Sunday and 195 for our Grey Invader. And to the last event, they put plenty of money on Quiet Queen, the Sydney filly.
And running on strongly was Sugar Grey. 200 metres left to go though. Getting right up on the inside. Victory River's claimed the lead from Quiet Queen. Victory River just in front. Quiet Queen, Victory River, Quiet Queen. I think Quiet Queen has just won this.
She did indeed. Quiet Queen wide out, $2.65 and $1.10. Defeated Victory River $2 and Vital Curves $4.15. The trifecta $15.35, and they are for Melbourne viewers only, and quad extra $2,591.35 in Victoria only. Big day for Darren Beadman, a huge day. 2 jockeys didn't want the ride, Michael Clark and Jim Cassidy on Kingston Rule. Darren Beadman picked it up, and he goes into the history books. He's talking now to Peter Donegan.
Thanks very much, Dan. Yes, the whole crew's down here. Darren, his wife Kim, and winning trainer Bart Cummings. Darren, first of all, has it really sunk home yet?
Not really. I don't think it'll sink home for another week or so, but it's certainly something you can dream of, and it's just a thrill that you can't explain.
Obviously, it would have been a great thrill to get the trophy from the Duchess of York too.
Yes, it was a great honour to be introduced to her and have a bit of a conversation with her, and she seems like a very nice lady.
We're looking at the replay now, and take us through your thoughts. First of all, the alley that you got, did it obviously allowed you to have a beautiful run in the race?
Yes, well, some people say, you know, one alley is a bit of a disadvantage, but the way the horse raced, he needed to be given a chance to run out the 2 mile, and I didn't have to use any petrol at any stage. And he travelled so well and relaxed nicely for me, so he could get the journey.
Well, we might...
About the real racing today at Flemington.
Thanks again, Mary. Kingston Rule, a horse bred to be a champion, fulfilled the dreams of owner-breeder David Haynes in today's Cup. Beaten in the shadows with Kingston Town in '82, Haynes finally tasted success, winning racing's Holy Grail. Kingston Rule overcame a home-turn check to score in course record time.
They're set, racing. Kingston Rule a little awkward to begin down in the inside. Ali Boy jumped away okay. Flying Luskin was away well, and the Phantom getting back looking for a place as La Tristia jumped away from the stalls quickly. Shane Dye grabbed hold of Shalea and is heading over towards the inside rail, and so is Citizen back towards the rear. Donegal Mist is prominent on the outside as Our Magic Man and Selwyn's mate, and Mr. Brooker is heading into a nice place early as they race past the 2,800 metre mark, and Savage Toss is in front down the straight the first time. Savage Toss in front, Our Magic Man is second, then La Tristia third, the inside followed by Donegal Miss, Selwyn's mate the outside. Now Botto next on the rails, followed further back in the field by Mr. Brooker, Kingston Rule, Wonder Flying Luskin, Ali Boy, then Rising Fear and Equidity. Mount Olympus and the Phantom well back on the inside. He's followed then by Shazura, Water Boatman, Del Raffin, and then came Rainbow Myth. Citizen has about 5 behind him, and they include Frontier Boy, who's just ahead of about 4 horses, including Batuta as they head out of the straight, and then Terrific Just a Dancer, and Shalea last of all as they head towards the riverside and towards the 2,000 metre mark in the Cup now. And Savage Toss is running along, leading by about a length and a half to Our Magic Man. La Tristia is a nick away third, the inside, a break of about 3 lengths to Selwyn's mate, who's wide around the outside of Donegal Mist, and on the rails is now Botto. About a length and a half further back is Mr. Brooker, Kingston Rule, and they're followed further back in the field, Rising Fear, Flying Luskin, Ali Boy, One Equidity, the Phantom, and then came further back in the field, Mount Olympus, trailed by Shazura. Then Water Boatman, who's a bit worse than midfield on the inside from Del Raffin, a length to Rainbow Myth. Then Citizen on the rails behind him, Frontier Boy and Batuta. As they go past the 1,600, well back is Terrific third last, followed by Shalea, and Just a Dancer is last of all. At the 1,400, it's Savage Toss in front. He leads 3/4 Our Magic Man, and La Tristia A length away is Selwyn's Mate, who's at the run of the race fourth, and then Novato, Rising Fear going around the outside, being trailed further back in the field then by Donegal Mist, and next is Mr. Brooker. Kingston Rule is back behind him on the rails, then Flying Luskin, Ali Boy and Equidity. The Phantom worse in midfield on the inside of Mount Olympus, and then Shazura. Waterboatman spotting them a long start at the 1,000-metre mark. Then Del Raffin, Rainbow Myth, Citizen hard ridden on the rails behind him, Frontier Boy. Then Batuta, Shalea, terrific second last, and Just an Answer still last. At the 800 coming near to the turn, Savage Toss in front, a half length Our Magic Man. La Tristia is third, and Selwyn's Mate dropping out of it, followed further back by Novato and Mr. Brooker coming into it. Back behind those horses is Kingston Rule and Flying Luskin as they turn the corner, and then Equidity, Frontier Boy and Terrific well back. Shazura ahead of those. They're into the straight, and Savage Toss, the leader from Our Magic Man, leads by about a length and a half, and then La Tristia and Novato. Kingston Rule getting up on the inside, Mr. Brooker wider out, followed by the Phantom and Flying Luskin. At the 300, Savage Toss in front. Our Magic Man tries to get him, and Kingston Rule's coming home very stoutly. Kingston Rule is at the front. Here's Novato and Mr. Brooker. Kingston Rule in front from the Phantom, diving up on the inside. Kingston Rule and the Phantom from Novato. It's Kingston Rule to give Barty's 8. Kingston Rule from the Phantom. Third is Mr. Brooker.
Well, it was one of the widest betting cups in 45 years, but punters did get it right. The favourites running first and second, and in the wash-up, Larry Cassidy, who rode Novato, has been suspended for a month for causing interference to Kingston Rule and Ali Boy on the home turn. The race taken by Kingston Rule at sevens from the Phantom and Mr. Brooker. Well, now to the details of today's races, and the first on the program was won by David Hayes, historically at 4-1. Second home, Raft Boy, and third was Shockatula. Not a bad run for a lightly raced hurdler. Camborne Tim won the second at 20-1. A big drifter out from 6-1, got there narrowly in slow time. Brosberg was the first leg of a double for John Sadler, came with a big finish to beat Dwanid, who won the race last year. Now the first of our replays here, and Procol Harum in the All Cerise is the favourite.
They descend on the lead quickly. Here's Power of Destiny coming from last. Procol Harum in front. Power of Destiny's got to within a neck of him at the 100. Procol Harum still just in front. Power of Destiny lunges, goes home the best and wins. Power of Destiny has got up to beat Procol Harum in the last stride of the race. Third placing went to Look Straight, and then...
Well, Power of Destiny ran 10th in the Melbourne Cup this day last year, winning today first up over 1,400 metres. In the next, a big finish from Zephyr Elko Bay.
Dreamers hit the front. Look at Zephyr Elko Bay. Zephyr Elko Bay swamps them on the outside, hit the front. A set of man's fought back on the rails, but Zephyr Elko Bay is sprinting away, and from last will win it by 3 lengths. Second placing to Dedicated, just in front of Ascent of Man. Comedy
Zephyr Elko Bay and Darren Gouchy coming from well back to score at 8-1 over Dedicated and Ascent of Man, and we saw a very good filly in this.
Natural Wonder in front of Kate Smith. Ice Cream Sunday diving up on the inside. It's Natural Wonder in front of Kate Smith and Ice Cream Sunday. Natural Wonder will win again. Natural Wonder, a bonny mare. 3/4 to Ice Cream Sunday, and a photo third, Our Grey Invader.
Hadn't raced for 5 weeks, but it didn't matter. Natural Wonder made it 5 in a row today, and she's won 11 out of 32. And the last, punters got it right here. Quiet Queen backed into 13-4 favourite over Victory River and Vital Curves. Daily double today for 8 and 3, $30.85. Extra 9 and 8, $65.50. The quadrella paid $2,499.45. Quad extra $2,591.35. And there's a big party going on somewhere tonight. One lucky punter netted over $500,000 for picking the last 6 winners on the program. So that wraps it up on Cup Day, and Darren Beedman was fined $200 for flourishing the whip on the post, but I don't think he'll have any trouble paying for it.
Petty cash.
He's won $130,000 today.
It's a lot of money to win in a horse race, isn't it?
My word.
Good luck to them. Thanks very much, Greg.
Thanks, Mary.
And now to our weather with Edwin Marr.
Thanks, Mary, and you're very lucky out there tonight, because when I came to the studio last evening, I was going to give you a tip for the Cup, and the name of the horse went out of my mind.
Good evening. A record race time for Kingston Rule and a record 8th Cup win for the 2-mile master, Bart Cummings. As it always seems to do, the 1990 Melbourne Cup was an historic one. Kingston Rule burst to the lead halfway down Flemington's famous straight to hold off favourite the Phantom in the 130th running of something that is uniquely Australian. Well, the man who brought us all the excitement and did not miss one thing in the entire race is our own Dan Malecki, and he joins us live now from Flemington. Dan, congratulations on a tremendous performance, pal.
Thanks a lot, Eddie. It was a fabulous day, and what a win by Kingston Rule, the best bred racehorse in Australia he is. And being by Secretariat out of Rose of Kingston, if he was sold through the market, he'd be worth $2 million before he hit the racetrack. He wins the Melbourne Cup. If ever a horse was bred to win the Melbourne Cup, Kingston Rule was. And what a fantastic day. It really was. Bart Cummings' 8th Melbourne Cup. He had a record 7 before today. He had 2 starters in the 1990 Melbourne Cup, and now he's got 8 winners of Australia's most famous event. It was a great race. Larry Cassidy ended up being suspended for a month. Larry was the brother of Jim Cassidy. Larry rode Narbotto into 4th placing, but caused interference on the home turn to Ali Boy, which nearly fell. Larry's been rubbed out for a month. Let's now have a look at the 1990 Melbourne Cup. And they're off and racing. And one of the first to jump out in the Foster's Melbourne Cup was Kingston Rule. Down near the inside, Rainbow Myth got out fairly well. Flying Luskin, Our Magic Man. Sedestin out wide as Shelley is immediately going back to the tail end of the field. Rising Fear and Savage Toss and Narbotto all up towards the lead with Donegal Mist as they run onto the course proper. 2,800 metres left to go, and Savage Toss is in front. Leads from La Tristia, and Our Magic Man wide up, went up to 3rd, followed by Donegal Mist and Selwyn's Mate. Behind them, Mr. Brooker, followed by Narbotto and Kingston Rule. Ali Boy inside, Flying Luskin. Rising Fear trapped 3 deep, and then Mount Olympus, and over on the inside Equidity, followed by the Phantom. Shazora 3 deep. Then Water Boatman, followed by Rainbow Myth and Del Raff, and Sedestin got over to the rails. 2 lengths away last year's winner Terrific. Around him the stablemate Frontier Boy. Then Batuta, Just a Dancer, and Shelley last of all. A lap to go on the 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup, and Savage Toss leads. It's Savage Toss in front by a length and a half. In second placing, Our Magic Man and La Tristia 3rd. A length and a half to Donegal Mist and Narbotto 5th the rail. Then Mr. Brooker, Selwyn's Mate around them 3 deep, a length and a half to Kingston Rule and Flying Luskin. Then Ali Boy, followed by Equidity around the outside. Rising Fear 3 deep, and the Phantom back on the inside in the purple colours. Then came the grey Mount Olympus, followed by Shazora, Water Boatman the rail. A length away Del Raff and Rainbow Myth, 1.5 Sedestin and Frontier Boy, a length Batuta. 2.5 lengths further back than a Terrific and Shelley, and a length and a half to Just a Dancer last of all, and he must be 20 lengths off the lead as they go to the 1600 metres point. They're halfway there in the Melbourne Cup, and Savage Toss led by a length and a quarter. Our Magic Man was 2nd, 3rd La Tristia with a box seat, a length and a half to Donegal Mist. Selwyn's Mate 3 deep, and over on the inside Narbotto. A length and a half away than a Kingston Rule, followed by Rising Fear. In the middle was Mr. Brooker. A length and a half to Flying Luskin in 10th placing. One to Ali Boy, the inside of Equidity. A length and a half to Mount Olympus, followed by the Phantom. Water Boatman over on the inside of Shazora. Then Del Raffin, followed by Rainbow Myth and Sedestin getting a rails run. A length to Frontier Boy, Batuta, 1.5 to Terrific, Shelley, and last of all was Just a Dancer. He's 20 lengths off the leader, Savage Toss. They have 1,000 metres to go. The Argentinian in front. It's Savage Toss by a length to Our Magic Man and La Tristia. A length away, Selwyn's Mate, 5th over on the outside, but under pressure, Rising Fear. Then Narbotto, a length away going forward, Mr. Brooker, followed by Donegal Mist under pressure. Kingston Rule sticking to the inside, Flying Luskin around them wide. The Phantom gets off the fence. Ali Boy being ridden along. Water Boatman next, and then Shazora. Over on the inside was Sedestin and Frontier Boy making a long sustained run. Terrific's 3rd last. On the turn in the Cup, and Savage Toss is still in front. The Argentine Stallion led a length and a half at the top of the straight. 2nd was Our Magic Man, a length and a half. Narbotto, La Tristia running on. Then Flying Luskin, followed by Mr. Brooker, and Kingston Rule goes for the run up on the inside. Here's Equidity and Mount Olympus down the outside with the Phantom. 300 metres to go, and Our Magic Man hit the front in the Cup. Kingston Rule's out after him, and so too is the Phantom. Here's Kingston Rule. Kingston Rule hit the front of the Melbourne Cup. 200 metres to go. The Phantom and Mr. Brooker trying hard. Kingston Rule in front. The Phantom trying to get up on the inside, but it's Bart's 8th Cup, and Kingston Rule wins the Melbourne Cup a length. 2nd, the Phantom. 3rd, Mr. Brooker. 4th home of the event, close up, was Narbotto. Then Mount Olympus and Equidity. Savage Toss, La Tristia, Flying Luskin, Our Magic Man, Sedestin, Ali Boy, Shelley, a Terrific, Just a Dancer, Del Raffin, Rainbow Myth, never in it from Frontier Boy, Batuta. Then Water Boatman, Rising Fear, Shazora, Selwyn's Mate, and Donegal Mist was last in the 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup. And there it was, Kingston Rule paying $5.75 and $2.15, defeating the Phantom and Mr. Brooker. And for everyone involved in the sweeps, the last of 24 horses home in the 1990 Melbourne Cup was Donegal Mist, finished a long way from them. Starting to change out here at Flemington, starting to rain too. Let's have a look at the second leg of the Daily Double on Cup Day.
Natural Wonder went up to take the lead from Kate Smith. Ice Cream Sunday, Echo Lassen down the outside, Our Grey Invader. Natural Wonder in front of Kate Smith and Ice Cream Sunday. Natural Wonder in front, trying hard, Ice Cream Sunday, but Natural Wonder's going to win again. Natural Wonder scores second, Ice Cream Sunday. I think the Grey got third, Our Grey Invader. And it did get third indeed. Quadrella on Cup Day, 5, 8, 7 and 3 was quite a healthy dividend. It paid $2,409.45. Excuse me, that dividend might be wrong. The Quad Extra, 8, 7, 3 and 6 was a pretty healthy 2,500 plus. The Daily Double on the numbers of 8 and 3, $30.55, and 9 and 8, $65.10. Those dividends might be 100% correct from what I'm saying, but what they are on the screen is absolutely perfectly right, Eddie Maguire. It was a fantastic day. As I said, it's raining now, so it's held off just in time.
Well, Dan, you're 100% perfectly right too in your call. When did you think that Kingston Rule had the race in his grasp? When he got a bit of a run on that inside rail?
At the 1200, knowing the horse and how well he settled, if you can see a horse settle as well as he did with 1200 metres to go, I thought there were two chances at that point. They run first and second head. I suppose you can't say that in the call, but when you're close to the fence, saving ground, you've got every hope, and gee, he's just a top horse. If ever a horse can win it twice, Kingston Rule's going to be the horse, and I think we'll see him back in races like the Australian Cup and Cox Plate and probably winning them next year. That's how good I think he is.
Good on you, Dan. Two winners today, Kingston Rule and Dan Malicki calling the race in brilliant fashion today, exclusively to Network 10. So it was Kingston Rule's Cup, but as usual, there were plenty of hard luck stories. For one man, today's race had even more meaning. Frank Lewis, trainer of Chalier, was having his first start since 1961. Today, Stephen Quartermain followed Frank and his horse's fortunes.
It's 12:15, and for the first time in 29 years, Frank Lewis has a starter in the big one. Frank knows what it takes to succeed. His only runner in the famous race was Lord Fury. It won. Today, Frank has Chalier, a 5-year-old mare from Sydney, ridden by Shane Dye, which has drawn the extreme outside barrier. Nevertheless, Chalier is a big chance. As Frank settles in his great hope, he's not promising anything.
It's not going to be an easy race to win, particularly with the 24 Marble, but she's got as good a chance as anything in the race.
In fact, Frank is about as easy going as you can get. When is the Melbourne Cup?
What is it, the 5th race, isn't it?
Yeah, it's race 5.
Race, yeah, well.
Frank decides to take a stroll and leave Chalier with her full-time security guard. Has she been a good girl?
Oh, yeah, it's been tremendous, mate.
Are you going to back her?
Certainly will.
Then, as time draws nearer, the man who says he's in his late 60s slowly and carefully prepares for the big race. At 2:14, Chalier is off to the mounting yard. Frank can do no more.
12 months' work's over.
How do you feel now? Do you feel even a little bit nervous?
Oh, no. Not at all.
Fergie's there, so is Danny. Frank, showing absolutely no emotion at all, watches passively as Chalier runs 13th. As Bart celebrates, Frank begins his post-mortem. Firstly, the jockey tells the trainer, then the trainer explains to the owners.
Yes, I'm afraid we couldn't do any better, but...
So today just wasn't Chalier's day, but for a horse that cost just $3,750, she did a pretty good job making it this far. Stephen Quartermain, 10 Evening News.
Yes, winners are grinners and the losers, well, yeah, they please themselves. And finally in sport tonight, news today that a former Melbourne Cup champ is also celebrating. New Zealand mare Empire Rose is pregnant, 3 weeks after being served by Starway. Empire Rose won the Melbourne Cup back in 1988 when she defeated Natski by the narrowest of margins. After failing to run a place in last year's Cup, she was immediately retired. And David, on a fantastic Cup Day 1990, that's all in sport. I still see you've got your shirt though.
Yes, fortunately, Ed, thank you. Kingston Rule, not the only hot thing in town today. David Brown with some more Cup Week weather right after this break. Victory yesterday, pain today. That's the story for the main players in the 1990 Melbourne Cup. Winning horse Kingston Rule today had a sore leg from the race, and winning trainer Bart Cummings had a sore head from the celebrations. As Nick McCallum reports, even the racecourse today looked a little sick.
Kingston Rule was today back on his track of glory, albeit a lot slower than yesterday.
Kingston Rule in front, the Phantom trying to get up on the inside, but it's Bart's 8th Cup and Kingston Rule wins the Melbourne Cup.
The reason for the horse's stiffness, an incident in the home straight yesterday left him with 6 stitches in the leg. He'll now be spelled for 5 weeks. His trainer Bart Cummings was also a little worse for wear today, but for him, a record 8 Melbourne Cups is still not enough.
I like 10, and I think it's it's an achievable goal, and I'll be aiming for that.
The victory is so much sweeter because only last year Bart faced financial ruin after syndication deals fell through and forced a fire sale of his yearlings. This Melbourne Cup effectively guarantees his financial survival.
It does help the business along a great deal to win Australia's most prestige race. Financial problems, we're trying getting those under control.
As Bart Cummings recovered from his headache, 300 cubic tonnes of rubbish at Flemington provided a huge headache for cleaners preparing the track for tomorrow's Oaks Day meeting. And finally suffering today was Tom Torning, the heartbroken husband who yesterday told the Melbourne Cup crowd he wanted his estranged wife back.